You know, I don't know why this season's getting so much hype. I mean, seriously, it's like what, season 15? And everybody's like, oh my god, it's all these changes. People, it's the same thing we've seen for what, 15 years now? I don't know why anybody is expecting even anything even remotely different. Now, unless you haven't caught on by now to the topic of this video, it's about new season of Pokemon Black and White, otherwise known as Pokemon and you know Best Wishes. I like to bring this little thing up. Just because Ash is getting some new clothes, I've noticed that. His eyes are brown now, but they couldn't make him look even just a little bit older. Come on. It's been what, 15 years here in the real world. I guess it'd probably be maybe 5 years in that world. He should at least be 15 by now. But yet he still looks like he's 10, maybe 11, possibly 12. And another thing that pisses me off is how he keeps, ditching his Pokemon every other season. Like, every 3 years he'll ditch his Pokemon to collect new ones. Like, yeah, do what you did with Johto, where you actually kept your Kanto Pokemon. Like your Charizard. I mean, you got a whole bunch of awesome Pokemon you can kick ass with. But no, I'm going to go over to a new region. I'm just going to catch some new ones. Oh, but I'll take Pikachu because, he's my favorite. Pokemon. That must be a big F you to them. I mean, can you imagine being owned by a jerk off like Ash and, just ditches you, but he takes his Pikachu with him? I mean, I'm surprised none of them freaking hyper beamed his ass. I love how people love this Dragon Ball Z of having like a ton of filler. Look, this anime is the definition of filler. Damn. I mean, what, Dragon Ball Z ended like after 290 episodes. Then it had spin-off GT, and that was it. Pokemon anime, 15 years of this crap, and it's the same. It's still the same stale old storyline we've been watching for 15 years. And people are still thinking maybe they'll do something different. Sorry, people, that's not going to happen. I will be making a video showing the differences between the Pokemon anime and Pokemon Special, the manga. That's Pokemon Special. That manga kicks so much ass. I'm serious. I mean, I know Pokemon haters are probably gonna say, but it's Pokemon. Guys, it's like Pokemon shonen style, which means an actual plot. Yeah, I know. With characters that are actually likable. So I'll probably be making a video on that probably sometime this week or next week. Expect that. AWA is only a week and 1/3 away, so I'm excited about that. Yes, I'm going with fractions. Well, that's all I gotta say. This is Gundam Freak 4. God bless, and I'll see you guys later. Now, the clips you just watched were from a video I made about 3 years ago entitled Pokemon Best Wishes Rant. And in that video, I basically addressed all the hype that Pokemon Best Wishes at the time was getting, a lot of the changes and a lot of the excitement that some people were having that I at the time did not understand. As I said in the video, I thought it was just the same show, and 3 years later, it essentially is the same show. Now, does that mean my opinions are still the same? Well, yes and no. As I said, when I made the video, it sounded like to people who were probably watching it, that I actually hate the anime. When in fact, I actually don't. In fact, I still watch the anime very frequently, actually. I try to catch it whenever I can. That's not too often anymore, but I do try to catch it. I try to make a point to watch the movies, and the movies are good, I will say that. The movies are, the things where you can tell they actually hire writers for. But I guess I'll talk about some of the things that still stand in that last video. There's some people who commented in that video about Jesse and James, about them being more competent and I guess badass, which I do agree. They are a lot more enjoyable to watch than they were in the previous seasons. But even as much as I enjoy Jesse and James's new badassery, show's not about them, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, we could, if we want to, let's all write in and, get our Jesse James spin-off show, which we know will never happen. I do like Jesse and James. I would be sad if they ever left the show, because I do have a sentimental attachment to them. But
guys, the show isn't about them. Even the writers in the show write them as the bad guys. I know they've helped Ash and friends, in previous episodes and previous story arcs and in some of the movies. But as I said, show's not about them. So people who made that statement on that video saying that all of a sudden made Black and White, Best Wishes good. Yeah, well, not really. And as I said, I don't hate Best Wishes the series. I think at the time I made it sound like I did, but I really don't hate it. I actually enjoy it. I now given I don't really like how they noobified Ash the last 3 years and treated him like he didn't know shit. Like in that gym battle with Elsa, he didn't know that Attract is only supposed to work with opposite genders of Pokemon. I mean, that's kind of a fail on his part, but that's more of the writers just being like, um, making Ash look like a dumbass when really he's been doing this for, I guess I want to say a couple years. The anime makes it sound like so. Yeah, he should know that by now. That's more of a noobish thing, which goes into the little thing of if they wanted to reboot it like they treated it felt like they treated Best Wishes. Why didn't they just make a new main character? I mean, I guess it was that all the kids and some of the older fans didn't know Ash, so I guess they thought it would be more alienating to probably switch over to another character. But in that case, why did you make Ash a noob? And if you wanted to keep Ash, why didn't you just put Ash in like a mentorish role for like a couple episodes if you really wanted to do that? Uh, like I said, it just kind of kills the developmental bit on his trainer-esque life when you make him do that. But like in hindsight, I don't hate the anime. I do like Best Wishes. But I was right. I mean, nothing changed really. In hindsight, it's the same plot. A lot of the filler 90% of the filler is recycled plot from the previous seasons. And that doesn't make it bad. I mean, I actually tend to like some of the filler that they do, but I mean, I can't sit through all of it. I mean, it's not one of those shows you can sit there and just marathon for hours and hours and hours if it's the same. I can't marathon it if it's nothing but filler. But, in hindsight, like I said, I made it sound like I really hated the show, but I don't. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say what I think people have been telling me for the last 3 years, and something I've actually come to the conclusion of myself within the last couple. Um, the anime, the Pokemon anime, it's for kids. That's just the fact of it. It's for children. Uh, I mean, they can do stuff for us, like make stuff the older fans would acknowledge, but when you get right down to it, the show is for kids. And looking back on that video, I mean, I don't know why it didn't appeal. I mean, excuse me, I didn't know why it didn't occur to me then. Uh, you'd think that would have been the most obvious thing, but obviously it wasn't. And just because it's a kids show doesn't mean I can't enjoy it. Doesn't mean that we older fans can't enjoy it from time to time. I mean, to be honest, I actually enjoyed the anime until we got to Best Wishes. I enjoyed him when he was in Sinnoh. I enjoyed him when he was in Hoenn, of course, Johto and Kanto. It's not that great. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that season one, guys, isn't that great. It's just iconic. Um, maybe that's why I don't like Best Wishes that much because it just makes reminds me of Ash being a noob, and yeah, it's kind of like if Shippuden Naruto went back to acting like himself in part one. Yeah, I think that would kind of speak for itself right there. So anyway, I hope I went ahead and got some of those updated thoughts out of the way. I don't hate the anime. I actually enjoy it, and a piece of it is sentimental value for my childhood. And then, there are times I actually do enjoy the show, like legitimately. Like I do enjoy the newer movies. Of course, I enjoyed, things like Beyond Johto, like the Advanced Generation series through Hoenn, and Diamond and Pearl through Sinnoh, when Ash was probably at his most competent. So anyway, leave your comments down below. Are your opinions still the same after watching Best Wishes the last 3 years? Have they changed? Perhaps I'll make another video when the X and Y adaptation of the anime is announced. So anyway, this is Tanner, also known as Gundam Freak 4, and I'll see you guys later.